there was a lot of different thoughts, and several were saying, hey, no, it's a bartering transaction, that's not taxable. Well, that's not true, and I can definitively say that from the research that I've seen from the merchant perspective. Hey everyone, it's Kingdom Silver here. Thank you so much for checking out the channel. Let's dive right in. So today we're answering a question around Goldbacks that I haven't really seen answered in my research for preparing for this video. And the question is, if I go into a local merchant that accepts Goldbacks, right? On the Goldbacks website, you can search for authorized merchants that will accept Goldbacks. And let's say that I'm going to a pizza joint. So my question was, if I go into Bella's Pizzeria and I pay for my Goldbacks, or pay for my meal in Goldbacks, right? Am I going to be taxed on the fact that I exchanged those Goldbacks for goods and services? And this is something that really isn't covered, right? I've done quite a bit of research diving into this video, and Goldbacks on their website, they don't give official guidance on this, and that makes sense. There's a liability to them if they were to give an official word on this. You look at several of the precious metals retailers, they don't give any definitive guidance either. I've researched, looking at different CPA firms and law firms. There's no applicable guidance yet. And I think some of that is because Goldbacks, they're becoming more adopted, right? But they're still a fairly new concept. And so I think it's important that you know this. And why this fits into my wheelhouse is I am a CPA. I've been a CPA since 2015, and I have over 8 years in the financial services industry. And so have a lot of experience with dealing with this type of stuff. And I'm going to help you today. Now, what I want to clarify is this is not official guidance, right? You need to focus, and what I would say to this is there's many types of CPAs, right? Just like you've got many types of engineers. I focus more on the audit side in my career and less on the tax side. However, as a CPA, I know how to do my research. I know what I'm looking for. And again, not official guidance, but I'm hoping that what this video gives you is some tools to understand, hey, if I perform this type of transaction with Goldbacks, what type of tax implications could I see, and help you make decisions on where or where not to use them. So we're going to look at several types of transactions today, and we're going to start with some that are more black and white, and then we're going to move into more of the gray area that may be personal preference on when you use them. And I can give you the pros and cons from a tax perspective that you could be facing the arguments for and against. So the first one that we're going to talk about is you go into a year ago, let's say you go into a local coin dealer. Let's say you go to Harry's Coin Shop, or you go to Tim's Coin Shop, right? A shout out to Yankee Stacking and Silver Dragons and their videos there. So let's say you go into there and you buy some Goldbacks from them. Let's say you spend about $100. And let's say you go into their coin shop and there's been some appreciation since then, and you're looking to sell these back to them. And let's say that you sell them back and you make around a $50 profit, right? So is that $50 profit taxable? Well, looking at the applicable laws, and again, with all this advice, this is just my personal opinion from looking at the tax code. Do not consider this official guidance. Do your own research and also confirm with a tax professional that what I'm saying is true. From what I can see, yes, that is a taxable transaction because that would fall under a capital gain, right? Gold and silver fall at a federal level under capital gains, and unfortunately, they also fall under what the IRS considers a collectible. So these are taxed at higher rates than you would see on normal stocks and bonds and ETFs, all that kind of fun stuff. So at a minimum, if you bought those Goldbacks from Harry or from Tim, and you buy those less than a year and sell them, well, you're subject to a 37% capital gain, an ordinary gain, short-term capital gain. And if you sell them more than 1 year, you're looking at least 28%. So it's better, but it's not perfect. So that's one of the transactions you're looking at. So let's look at another transaction in which I, this morning actually, took my vehicle into a repair shop. And at this repair shop, they tell me, hey, you've got a car, it's over 100,000 miles, there's a couple of repairs, we want to do it, it's going to be $300, right? So I tell them, hey, would you accept Goldbacks in the place of me paying in cash? And let's say the owner's, amenable to it, and they're like, yeah, I'll accept that. Is bartering transactions taxable? So this is a little bit more of a gray area, and I was looking at some forums for Goldbacks and Goldback merchants, and there was a lot of different thoughts, and several were saying, hey, no, it's a bartering transaction, that's not taxable. Well, that's not true, and I can definitively say that from the research that I've seen from the merchant perspective. So according to Kroll and Mooring LLP, which is a law firm, it's very clear that the IRS views this transaction as taxable. So it doesn't matter that if I'm giving gold or silver, or I say, hey, I'm in barbecue country here, I'll cut you a deal. I'll make you a bunch of slabs of ribs and smoke you some cheese, do some cold smoking, and I'll use that and I'll pay for my vehicle repairs that way. Well, for the repair shop, right, they are exchanging a service which typically costs $300 for this barter situation. The IRS considers that taxable. Now, what about from the perspective of the actual person, me in that case, getting the repairs? That's a little trickier, right? That is a little trickier. And so we're going to use another scenario here to help define that. And this is where, again, really gray area right now. So the best argument that I have seen online and that I've been able to validate for, hey, Goldbacks are not taxable in a transaction is when it comes to the comparison with gift cards, right? So today, let's say we're going to Walmart, right? And you buy somebody a $50 Walmart gift card. That person can use that $50 Walmart gift card and not worried about being taxed on that transaction. Why is that? Well, it's because sales tax is taken out on that gift card at the start, right? That it's already been paid for, that sales tax. And so if you were to be taxed again on that transaction, it would be considered double taxation. And the IRS, even though they love to tax us, it seems, that's something they're saying, hey, that's too much. So there is an argument. And the reason why it's not taxable is because, and again, because of that double taxation, but it's also because that cash is, or that gift card is compared to what's called a cash or cash equivalent, right? It is $50 in cash. So this is, again, where the gray area with Goldbacks and where I think is the most intriguing case for them comes from, because if you go on the Goldbacks website, they give the Goldbacks and then give a calculator that shows the key word here, cash equivalent worth of what that Goldback should be. They give an exchange rate. So I think there is an argument to be made, again, not official guidance, but an argument to be made that because Goldbacks are could be viewed, I should say, let's be clear here, viewed as a cash equivalent, they could be used in a transaction and you would not have to have tax on them. However, again, I feel like that's a real gray area, right? I think it could go either way. So where would I feel the most comfortable using a Goldback in this situation? Well, for those states, and not every state does this. There's many states that have, precious metals friendly laws, and they have that gold and silver are not subject to capital gains tax, right? That's awesome. However, not every state views gold and silver as legal tender. And on top of that, there are states that say it has to be certain types of gold and silver, U.S. minted gold and silver, or it has to be a government, what's the right word? It has to be a governmental entity that mints that gold and silver, right? That is not what Goldbacks would fall under. However, if you do have a state, and I believe in doing just a little bit of research for this video, I think Utah may potentially be one of them. Again, don't define that. Don't take that as gospel, right? Do your own research. But there are certain states that say, hey, gold and silver period is legal tender. And in those cases, I would feel much more comfortable going into a retailer and using my Goldbacks and not having to worry about, any sort of taxes. So what's the advantage here? right? Well, just like I think about this a little bit as you go into Costco, right? And they have discounts on their cash equivalent gift cards, right? And sometimes you can buy, $100 worth of gift cards for $80 and it saves you money. There's an opportunity here for Goldbacks potentially as well. Again, if you're in the right jurisdiction and if you're doing, the appropriate things, right? With that, we're going to end the video today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, I would really appreciate a like. It helps me out, but more importantly, gets the algorithm going, helps more people find this video. And I'd love to interact with you in the comments. Have you ever used Goldbacks before? How do you view these transactions? Have you done any research on this? And what is your stance on whether or not these would be taxable in an exchange for goods and services? With that, be blessed, be a blessing to others. We'll see you later.